Hi guys, so if you came to this video, then that probably means that you're thinking about getting a hedgehog or you just want to learn more about them.
So we are DIY YouTubers here on YouTube, but we also happen to have a pet hedgehog, which many of you have noticed. This is Harley, our pet hedgehog, who at the moment's a little grumpy.
Yeah, we've done lots of videos with him, and we just want to let you guys know more about owning a pet hedgehog if you're thinking about getting one, just so that you can know that it's the perfect fit for you.
And we did an earlier, like about a year ago when we got him, a facts about hedgehogs. But I think now after a year of owning one, we can safely say that we know what it's like.
Yeah. So if you've seen the hedgehogs around the internet, then you're probably seeing an African pygmy hedgehog because that's like the small one, the small cute one that you can own as a pet. Harley here is about a year and a half old, and he is full size. So hedgehogs, their lifespan is a minimum of around 3.5 years to all the way up to 9, but usually they're between 4 to 6 years of age. Obviously, we can't vouch for this ourselves, but
you're only about a year old.
Yeah, but
note that that's what you're getting into when you buy one.
Yeah, and in the description below, we will list the websites that we get our information from, as well as obviously just our experience, but the other information and
where you can read up on more of this.
Yeah, and hedgehogs are nocturnal, so you might have not known this from all the cute pictures of them out in the daylight playing around, but they actually are nocturnal. So right now, when you wake them up, they're kind of like, I just want to sleep. Sometimes.
We have tried and we've heard that it's like kind of possible to make them non-nocturnal, like leave the lights on during the day or at night or whatever makes sense.
Yeah.
Like play with them during the day so they're tired at night. No matter what we've tried, he just wants to be awake at night and sleeping during the day. It's just how they're born, and it's the way that they're naturally supposed to be.
So I bet you guys are wondering about picking up a hedgehog. Like, is it hard?
What does it feel like?
It is pretty prickly. So they have a soft underbelly, and it's pretty much all fur.
It's really fluffy.
But when you're first trying to take them out of their cage when they're sleeping, because like we said, if it's during the daytime, they're going to be sleeping. And pretty much every time you go to grab it, it's going to go into a ball just because it's scared.
It's like this.
Yeah. So like this.
We're not going to lie to you, it is pretty spiky.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty used to it right now, but it hurts. And
it can hurt.
There's indents all over my hand. Like if I was younger, you know, under the age of 12,
you probably would really not enjoy it at all.
No.
But once they are like open and awake, their quills, when they're freaking out, their quills are like up, but when they're relaxed, they're lying down, so they don't spike you anymore.
Yeah, and you can hold it.
Yeah, like when it's walking around, its quills will kind of relax and it doesn't hurt anymore, so.
And you can always hold it from the belly like this. So right now, all his fur is on my hands. So.
Which is really soft and fluffy.
Yeah.
So.
And they will sometimes bite if you're just holding it the wrong way, if you smell like food, you know.
We've only had that happen though a couple times, and it really doesn't hurt. It's
no,
just kind of a shock, like, oh.
Yeah, oops, I didn't know that was going to happen.
They have very, very tiny, tiny teeth, so really it's not going to hurt. But I mean, little kids, again, won't enjoy it.
Yeah. Their personalities really vary. So you can have really grumpy hedgehogs and you can have really friendly hedgehogs.
Contrary to popular belief, they're actually not related to the porcupines at all.
No.
They are part of the SHREW family, which is like things that like to dig in the ground. Mm-hmm. And you'll notice if you have a hedgehog, they love to dig in things and burrow.
All right, so let's talk about what you need to own a pet hedgehog. You're gonna need a pretty large cage. It's gonna be one of the larger cages that you buy at a pet store, and it's from 2 to 4 square feet. And then you're gonna wanna make sure that cage has a full bottom, not like a wire bottom or anything. And people do use aquariums, but you're gonna need such a big aquarium and you're gonna wanna put things in it. Just a wire cage is better with like a plastic bucket kind of bottom.
They're a lot easier to clean too than a glass aquarium would be, I feel.
Yeah. And then the other thing that's really important is hedgehogs need exercise. We bought this 12-inch wheel. They need to be plastic bottom. They can't be the wire ones that hamsters use because their legs will slip through and then they'll get stuck and they'll hurt their legs. If you've ever seen a picture of a hedgehog with a cast, that's probably what it's from.
And other things that you're going to want to put in the cage is, like we said before, they like to burrow and hide under things. So like some sort of little house or like plastic igloo thing for your hedgehog to go in. You can get like little tunnels or like half tunnels, or we have this plastic green igloo thing that he loves to go under and sleep in.
Yeah. And then you're going to need food and water, obviously. So for the food, we have it in a little dish, and you can also keep your water in a dish, but honestly, they like to like kick around and burrow so much that you're gonna get gunk in the water. So it's better to use one of the water bottle types like this with that you can just fill up, and we chose this nice glass one rather than plastic.
It has a little floating rubber duck in it if you're wondering what that is, so you can tell how full your water is.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering what hedgehogs eat, we feed Harley cat food, just regular cat food. We've read that that's what you're supposed to feed them. We're not just being weird.
Yeah, there is hedgehog food, and it's like kind of a debate. People say hedgehog food isn't actually good for them. It's just overpriced. Some people swear by it. I don't know. They're kind of new and exotic, so...
yeah, we feed them regular cat food. We've never had a problem with it, so we suggest it's the way to go.
And you're also supposed to fulfill their diet with pretty much everything. They eat like meats. You know, you can give them chicken, boiled eggs, like hard-boiled eggs, fruits and vegetables. We found that if we give Harley that, he won't touch it at all.
Like we've said, temperament. Like it's like we have tried to give him like almost everything. If we're cooking something, we'll be like, oh, like give it to Harley, see if he'll try it. But like
he won't eat it. But we have other people say, oh my gosh, my hedgehog loves watermelon. My hedgehog loves strawberries.
Watermelon's really popular, so I would suggest like try it, go for it.
You're supposed to feed it to them, but like he literally won't eat it, and we'll put it in his cage and it just sits there and rots. So
he just loves his cat food.
Yeah, we know it's not really good, but I don't know. What's wrong with you? Why don't you want the food? And you're obviously going to need some bedding, and there's not too many rules here. I've seen people use just like fabric as the bottom.
Like a blanket?
Yeah, like a blanket. People quilt them and stuff.
But you will have to wash it a lot, so just remember that.
Yeah, so we use Care Fresh, so it's kind of just like this natural bedding. But the only rule is you shouldn't use cedar at all, or any kind of wood chips is probably not a good idea because the like little sawdust, well, it creates a lot of dust and it's just not good for the respiratory system, apparently. Yes. And then you're also gonna want to have a toy for them. So this can be any kind of like rubber ball or anything, but the typical hedgehog toy that you might have seen is the toilet paper tube.
So inexpensive.
And they get their head stuck in it, and it's cute. They don't actually get stuck, but
we've given him ping pong balls too.
Yeah.
He likes those to push around.
Yeah. So a point we really want to make about the cage is how much your hedgehog is going to use his wheel and how important it is to him or her. So they really need their exercise just to stay healthy and in shape, I guess. And they are nocturnal, so they're going to run on it at night. So if you're planning on keeping this in your room and your mom or dad says, you can have a hedgehog, just keep it in your room, we would really not recommend this because even though we have the silent wheel, it's still really loud, and I wear earplugs at night because he will keep me up if I don't.
I'm a pretty heavy sleeper, but sometimes I even hear him just running. It's just like the sound of like little feet on it. Yeah. Like it sounds cute, but after a while it can get like tiresome.
And it can like wake you up and it can keep you up.
If you're a light sleeper, I would think about it.
So not only is he gonna run on it like constantly throughout the night, he also poops when he runs. So
this is just natural though, like wild hedgehogs just do it on the run so they don't leave a scent where they're like sleeping.
Yeah. You know? So you will find that after a week, your clean spick and span cage is gonna look like this. And that's the reality, and it does start to smell. So if you don't wanna have to clean your hedgehog cage like every 3 days or every week, then maybe a hedgehog isn't for you because you really need to have their wheel in there, and that's gonna happen. There's really not a way around it.
This is just like owning any pet. You have to be like prepared to clean up after them.
Yeah.
Just know it's gonna happen.
Yep. So along with the whole pooping thing, his feet are gonna get kind of poopy. So you are supposed to bathe your hedgehog every 2 weeks. Some people say every month. It's kind of up to you, with just some lukewarm water and some animal soap, as long as it doesn't contain tea tree oil, because that is a deadly like oil for hedgehogs. So don't put tea tree oil anywhere near them. So just some of that and a toothbrush, old toothbrush, not your toothbrush.
Yep, no, please don't.
Gross. You can just like wipe his feet or her feet and kind of just like brush them with the warm water and then rinse off the soap afterwards.
Yeah.
And then afterwards you just got to make sure that they are completely dry before you put them back in the cage, just for health reasons. So with this whole poop kind of thing, clean, a thing to note about the hedgehogs is that their feces can contain salmonella, which if you are exposed to it can make you really sick. So you just have to really be really careful and not to like really kiss your hedgehog or like play with him and then eat food or
don't have
touch
it
your
around
face.
food. Yeah, so I mean they're fine, just wash your hands after you're done playing with it.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, but it is something to note, and if you have a really low immune system or really small children in the house, then we would probably not recommend it just for that fact.
Mm-hmm. So hedgehogs are a wild animal, you need to know this. So obviously they're not like born loving people and want to play all the time. So they do just naturally want to just like curl up in a ball and be by themselves. So if you play with them, they become more used to you and they like know who you are and they become friendlier. So we suggest if you want to have your hedgehog play with you, that you play with it every single day.
For at least 30 minutes, so that's like in the morning and in the night.
Because we have noticed like the longer you play with him, the more friendlier they become. And then if you kind of let them just be natural for a while and do their own thing, then they kind of don't want to play with you anymore. So
we kind of think the formula is like if you don't play with it for a day, then it's going to take a day of you trying to warm up to him again. So if you don't play with him for a week, it's going to take a whole week of him, you know, kind of shutting you out and ignoring you. For
like if you want them as a really good pet, like it's a lot of work. It's
a
lot of dedication. You have to be willing to put in the time to play with it.
Yeah.
And get it to know you and like you. So the big question I'm sure a lot of you have is, can I buy one? Where can I buy one? And is it legal for me to have one where I live? There are a couple places that we know of in US and Canada where they are not legal.
So the last updated list that we read on one of the hedgehog websites is that they are illegal in Maine, Arizona, California, Georgia, Hawaii, and Pennsylvania, as well as some other municipalities such as the 5 boroughs of New York, and there are a couple other cities, so you should really read up on it yourself and even call your local animal?
Yeah, there actually is like animal associations like within your city. I would just call and check.
Yeah, and you don't want to have your hedgehog getting taken away from you. But the other thing is that you probably won't be able to buy it if they are illegal.
Yeah, they won't be selling it in states. Well, they shouldn't be selling them in states where it's not legal.
Yeah.
And you're pretty safe in almost everywhere in Canada except for, I believe, Windsor, Ontario and Surrey, BC.
Yeah. So where you can get these hedgehogs, we got ours from a breeder, and on the websites below you can find breeder lists where they're recommended breeders, and you can click on the websites and they'll have all the images there and you can call and
pick out your baby hedgehog.
Yeah, that was really fun. We were like,
yeah, which one we wanted.
Yeah.
And you can also buy them in pet stores, but this is the same debate as like with puppies and kittens. Like everyone's just concerned that pet stores aren't, you know, like the nicest to their animals, but that's like your personal decision. And if you can't find a breeder, that might be your only option.
Yep. And hedgehogs, they can go from anywhere from like $150 we found to $275, maybe even $300. Harley here was $175, but that's also when they were a little bit less popular, so they might have gone up in price.
It all depends. I would just try and do research in your area. We will hopefully help you with some links below.
Yeah.
So overall, I think we would say that hedgehogs they're a great pet. They're pretty fun and they're obviously very cute. But they are a lot of work and they do require a lot of time, and you have to be willing to put in hours in playing with them.
And cleaning their cage.
Which is just kind of like every pet. You have to be willing to take care of it.
Yeah.
But if you are willing to, I think that they're really cute. If you want to see more videos with Harley, you can click here at the end of the video. We have a whole playlist of videos that we've included him in.
Mm-hmm.
So if there are any questions about hedgehogs that we did not answer in this video, we suggest you check the links below or leave a comment in the comments, and we'll try to get back to as many of you as possible.
Yep.
Thanks so much for watching, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.